What's up, guys? This is Deuce Almighty, and we are back with the Deuce Almighty podcast. So much has been happening in my life. It's not even funny. Uh, I want to start off with some rap songs. Album of the week, my favorite album probably of all time, maybe top three. Top three is "Damn" by Kendrick. Uh, Nothing Was the Same by Drake, and some rap songs by Earl Sweatshirt. Um, Yeah, so much has been happening. I just turned 28 last week, so happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Shout out me, man. 28 years old. Uh, but the coolest part, and why, like, the biggest reason I'm hopping on this thing is I just accepted a fight on like 10 days notice, so I should be fighting in about 6 days. In Mexico, uh, fighting another 1-0 dude. Um, and yeah, why'd I take the fight on short notice? Um, Cause I'm the fucking best in the world. I got a call late Wednesday. It was maybe around midnight. I literally had just got off the phone with my lady, put the phone down, and I'm like chilling around. And I get a call maybe 2 or 3 minutes later, like as I was about to go do something else. And they're like, "Yo, like how much you walking around?" I'm like, a little bigger than normal. Uh, so I was about 140, and they're like, "You want to take this fight at 139?" It's like 139. Ugh. I typically fight at 125, so that's like 3 or 4 weight divisions above me. 125, 132, 135, 139. So yeah, that's a lot of weight classes. And even to put it in perspective, that Shakur Stevenson just went up from 135 to 140. Uh, so yeah, that was up 3 weight classes, and really, that's not my kind of like thing. I really don't care about weight classes all that much. As an amateur, I've always pretty much walked around at 132 pounds for the most part. Um, and maybe 8 of my fights are at 135, even though I've never weighed 135 until this year, this camp. So I was able to haggle them down from 139 to 134, which is much more manageable, and make them suffer a little bit. If I'm taking a short notice fight, I can't just be the only one suffering. Uh, but yeah, man, I'm super excited. I was already going to Mexico, so this would be Ascend USA versus RFL Mexico. Fighting with two of my best friends, Christian and Jag, which is super, super, super crazy. Originally, I was just gonna travel as coach because I am the head coach at my gym, um, and was able to get a sick call. Yeah, but this is like the thing that I live for, opportunities to prove that I'm the great fighter or human that that I always say I am. And I'm really, really excited for it. Is it nerve wracking? Are there like a lot of like thoughts in your head, like, wow, but what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? And then how I kind of ease it all is just remembering like the best fighter in the world is always the best fighter in the world, no matter what. Um, like I don't think on any day of any week of any year that Canelo could have beaten Terrence Crawford. I genuine like there would have never been a version of Canelo that could have ever beat any version of Terrence Crawford. Um, like the best in the world is the best in the world, regardless if he gets the name now or later. It doesn't matter. Right now, most people don't know me. Right now, most people don't even know what Muay Thai is, especially in America. So me doing this just puts me in front of different people, puts me in front of different fans, puts me in a new promotion, in a different country where I get to show that I'm exactly who I say I am and who I've been calling myself since 2021, 2022, 2021. Um, so yeah, like I do believe that like I'm the best fighter in the world inside of the ring. There are guys that are gonna beat me up in the gym. There are guys that are gonna fucking hit me hard as fuck in training, or fucking out clinch in training. But like inside the ring, a lot of these guys have mental lapses. A lot of these guys don't believe in themselves. A lot of these guys don't train enough. Like I hate that saying of it's a thing that boxers say a lot. Like he was the better fighter tonight. I just don't believe that on any night that there's another fighter better than me inside of a ring. Um, and that's that. Do I have losses? Yes. In the amateurs, I took two losses. One to a Kyokushin karate guy who timed a really good head kick on me in the first round. I got dropped in the first, and I ended up losing 30-20, 30-20. How the fuck did that work? 1, 2, 3, 7, 30-26. So first round he gets a 10-8. Second round, sure you could say 10-9. But I believe I won the last round. So maybe 30-28. So yeah, 30-27. I don't really know math like that. I do. I gotta stop playing and saying shit like that. Because that's how it kind of bleeds into your fucking mentality and talking to yourself negatively. But yeah, my other loss is to a kickboxer who really I beat up for 3 rounds. But I was fighting in his promotion. His coach is the owner of the promotion, and they gave him the win. And also I didn't really understand kickboxing rules until that fight. And that's when I understood. And that was maybe my 10th fight. That was my 10th fight. I lost my ninth and 10th fights back to back. Um, Went like a wait. I lost my 10th and 11th fights. I went 8-0-1, and then lost to Cameron Burt and lost to Colin Versaw. And then when we tried to run Colin Versaw back, he quit training, and he went back to the army. So yeah, I take that. I take that dub. Um, so yeah, I'm excited to show who I am and what I am and what I do to the Mexican audience in Monterey this upcoming Saturday. So yeah, what else has been going on in my life? We just changed gyms. We went from our really big like 5,000 square foot gym or 3,000 square foot gym to about like 1,200, 1,500. And we're right across the street, so we're not like the travel distance is identical. We are directly across the street from where we used to be. And we really just wanted to a few things. We needed to save on just our monthly freaking rent and monthly just bills, man. That place was expensive and bleeding money past the Helene hurricane. Um, Once a lot of people started moving and the infrastructure here changed a lot, and there was no more jobs being created here. A lot of people left, or a lot of people just had to start saving. And martial arts is a luxury. It's not a necessity. So downsizing, and then the biggest thing is we really not the biggest thing. The second biggest thing is we really wanted to get to training hard again, doing hard shit, and being gritty again. We're in a smaller gym that gets hot fast. The half the gym is painted black, which is amazing. I love it. I love it. Uh, and we're still kind of getting our feet. We're only 3 weeks into this new location, so we're still getting it down. Um, but yeah, I'm really happy about the new place and what's going on with that part. Uh, what else I got going on, man? Yeah, to talk about why there's been no podcast. To be completely honest, I've recorded them. They've just been terrible. Really not having any direction with them, or not really having anything too eventful to talk about. But really, it comes down to I was just I wasn't all there, and I wasn't being myself. I was doing a couple things that like kind of take away from how well I think and how I carry myself. And when you're doing shit like that, like the podcast never turn out correctly. Whether you're drinking, whether you're smoking, whether you're just really down that day, whether whatever, um, it just doesn't turn out right. And I was realizing that week after week, and I just made some changes today. Just made sure I had my head on straight. Got up. I went to go run, and then instead of running, I went to train at another gym in town. Uh, did like 2.5, 3 hours there. 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. It felt long. But yeah, did a little bit of work there just to get a sweat going. Yesterday, which was Saturday, which was Valentine's Day. Um, Me, Jag, and Christian, we drove down to Atlanta to train at Ever Ready Muay Thai. And we live 3 hours from Atlanta, so it's nothing. Um, and we got to train with the rest of the USA team. So we got guys from Tennessee, guys from Atlanta, and then us all going to Mexico. And we got our suits and stuff. You know what? I might have to show y'all the suit. I'll be right back. Bet. Here are the trunks. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Come on. Come on. Flag down there. Fucking ascend. My goodness. Here are my pants. Come on. Nice. Really good pants. And then the jacket. Oh man, the back clean. Front. I um really excited to first put that on and also fight in it. So yeah, man, it's actually kind of cool because this is my second time representing the U.S. Internationally. First time was in Scotland with a World Kickboxing Association, the WKA, and that was for the World Championships. That's where my gold medals come from. Muay Thai and low kick kickboxing. And then this time with RFL or versus RFL, which is a big promotion in Mexico. Um, ooh, I forgot. I kind of got an announcement. Psh. The WBC, which is like the really big green belt that you see all these people or all these fighters wearing, especially in boxing. You know, Floyd has a million of them, Terrence Crawford, all these other guys, and then recently you've seen how WBC stripped Terrence Crawford, and then they like charged Shakur Stevenson. Um, but they're one of the longest standing promotions and sanctioning bodies. And I input my name in for their USA team, and I'm on the WBC USA team, gang. Yay! So I gotta make like $500 in the next 2 weeks. I need, which is crazy. Hopefully, well, not hopefully. I'm gonna maybe do another run of Every Star Gonna Shine shirts, and then maybe run like a personals deal or something like that. That way I can make that money. I hate asking people for anything. So just gonna try to make it by being an entrepreneur and not by asking people for things. But also asking people for things isn't the worst thing ever. Um, yeah, you just got to grow up with that mindset and around those kinds of people that understand that community is important and not feel like you need to be separated. and you have to do things on your own. Uh, but yeah, WBC World Championships in Thailand, and that's in June. It's actually during like the most important freaking week in the year in my family, which is like the last week in June. So uh from Juneteenth to like the 26th or 27th, I'll be gone for Juneteenth. That's also my grandfather's birthday. And then my grandma's birthday is the 20th. Then my mom's birthday is like the 26th, the 25th. So like that week is like so big. Last year was the first time that I really celebrated it with the family. Maybe definitely since I've been an adult, but maybe like ever. It was the first time that I went to my family's land in Maryland, and I've talked about that before. But yeah, going to like my family's land, my family's ancestral land, like my great grandfather bought that in like the early 1900s, like 19, maybe before then. I want to say it was after the Civil War. Um, I want to say he bought it after the Civil War, but I also don't want to lie right now. I'll lie in person or something. Say now. Uh, but yeah, man, it's really crazy because I'm trying to do something really special. And the Muay Thai will be in the Olympics in a few years, and I really want to be a part of that Olympic team. I've been wanting to be an Olympian since I was running track, and I realized that it was a possibility for me. Um, I Sometimes I'm always like, damn, like I could if I would have just kept running, or like, I could have done it by now, but the timing's always right, and we're getting closer, and I feel like I'm getting closer. Being able to represent these different sanctioning bodies and representing the USA multiple times on large stages will hopefully put me in front of the correct people so that I can fight in the Olympics in 2028. And that's something again that like I'm really pushing for. Um, I'm gonna be the face of American Muay Thai, probably martial arts in general. So that would like really send it. And I'm just working towards that. American Muay Thai is still very small. It's growing exponentially. It's growing. But a few knocks that we have is we only fight when it's convenient, after a 6 or 8 week camp. We don't fight, up in America. We're like we don't fight when the possibility of losing is there. Um, there are a lot of knocks on American Muay Thai. Again, like we care too much about social media and not enough about fucking training and winning and fighting. Um, and I'm trying to like get that stigma off of us. There's no one confident enough in themselves to put themselves out there, uh, to try to achieve these things and lead the next generation. And that's what I'm here for. It's gonna be me, and I know it's gonna be me. Not even saying that to be cocky. It's just like, I mean, I've been around some pros that you probably know, and their self confidence just isn't there, and like how they do things just isn't there. How they take criticism isn't there, and I feel like I'm still so grounded and still so regular that it has to be me because a lot of people can see themselves in me, um, and not even necessarily with like my athletics or anything like that. It's just like I'm still regular. I still speak to people like normal. I still speak to people while looking at their face, while looking in their eyes. I ask people how their days are going, and I actually do mean it and want to know. Um, and a lot of people are just like, I'm a star, you care about me, and I don't really have to care about you. And that's like not the thing. And that's a really big issue um, when it comes to fame or leadership. Um, no one wants to be a leader. Everyone thinks that their journey is strictly their journey and that no one else is along for the ride with them. So, yeah, I really do believe that I'm going to be the face of this, probably all martial arts. Just like how GSP was and Anderson Silva. Yeah, they were MMA fighters, but everyone knew their name. And it would be really cool to be a part of the very first Olympic team that is taking in 2028 that the U.S. is taking and that the world will have um, with my leadership and with who I am as a person, especially being a Black American, which is like probably the most American shit you can be. Um, and that's not to knock anybody that live here, but for me, if your grandparents not from here, you're barely American. Um, for real. Like my family's been here for like 14 generations. Like I can track us back to like the late 1700s. And I've done it. I have the ancestry. So being American, being free, being all that shit, like black is the closest thing you can get to that shit because we're the only people that have helped others. I feel like we were held down for so damn long by the same group of people in the same system, and the reason that you see anyone that's not white or black American is because of us, especially if they have some sort of pigment. There was a time where you couldn't move here if you were Chinese in the late 1800s, early 1900s. I want to say like 1890s. And then we put fucking Japanese people in internment camps, especially during the war. And then 1865 with all of the stuff that Martin Luther King did and Malcolm X did and all of the people that really fought for civil rights, they're the reason that if you're not from a European country, you are allowed here. So like black American people are the reason that Asian people are here. We are the reason that African people can come here. If you want to be honest, there has never been, I don't want to say never been because people would be like, we were here, we were in America first. If y'all were in America first, that makes you Native American. That doesn't make you African because you would have to be on the African continent to be African. So if you believe that Africans came here and they were living here, then they were Native Americans. All right, so I'm tired of all that bullshit speculation of like, yo, like, fucking, we've been here longer than anybody. Then you're Native American, which is okay. Are your ancestors from Africa? 500 years ago? Yes. But after that, they understood the land. They became a part of the land. They probably had kids that are Native American. Well, they had kids that were Native American. If you move here and you have a child here, that automatically puts you in America. And I'm not talking about the USA. America is North and South America. We are just the United States of North and South America. Our name is the United States. It's not America. Um, but yeah, like, and especially when it comes to like being black, and it's Black History Month, and the difference between being an African that is in America and being a black American. There were no African people here in the 50s because you would have been not allowed here. The all of the civil rights bills are the reason that you're a first generation person here. There wasn't a generation before you here because y'all weren't allowed here because my ancestors died for your right to be here. Period. Um So let's just get that out there because that's something that I be wanting to say all the time. Like, one, for the foundational black American people, if you feel like y'all were here already, then y'all are Native American. Thank you. Were y'all still darker skinned? Yes. Were your roots in Africa? yes, but when them motherfuckers came here on the Mayflower, you were a Native American. So just be okay with that. Um, and to my diaspora people, to all the people in the diaspora, it's okay. All right, it's okay, but United States didn't allow y'all really here until the 60s. That's why most of your parents came here in the 70s, and you are a first gen or second gen, and it's okay. Shit, what else been going on? I start getting riled up when I start coming to my blackness because I appreciate it, and I really appreciate my ancestors. Like my lineage fought in the Civil War, like literally, and that matters to me. Especially when I'm driving around the South and I see Confederate flags because losers don't get trophies. um, so the fact that that shit is still allowed and y'all didn't get wiped out, whatever. Um, but yeah, man, it's Black History Month. There are so many things that black people did. We created every genre of music that exists, and it's kind of true, other than like Yiddish. I don't fucking know, but we invented rock and roll. We invented fucking rap, of course, soul, R&B, country. That all derives from us and our African rhythms that we came over here with. Uh, and I'm always appreciative to my African people too. So I don't want to like try to separate us. I just want there to be like some respect on what Black Americans have done. And because I saw Shabuzi's little bullshit, he said, immigrants have built America. And people would be like, well, he's black. He's giving respect to the immigrants. No, his parents are immigrants. He just so happened to be African. He's a first generation African man. I don't want our credit to be taken and given to people that weren't even allowed here yet. African Americans are the reason that he's here. So, no, y'all didn't build anything. We literally, actually, like blood, sweat, and tears, built this country. Literally, we built the White House. We built Philadelphia. Um, we built damn near everything on the Eastern Seaboard that has some sort of historical context. Uh, yeah. But there are so many things that we've invented, and I kind of want to say them, because it is Black History Month. Uh, Black inventions. All right, y'all ready? I'm about to. Hopefully, I don't just like see a drop off of my watching. Cause if y'all know me and y'all are watching this, then y'all know how much I care about black people. So seeing the drop off would mean that the people that know I care about black people only care about when I'm talking about things that um, they can get some sort of value from that isn't black history, and that's what I don't like. Cause I am still black, and I'm radically black. So yeah, the improved ironing board, Sarah Boone, 1892. The one that folds and slides that be hurting your ears when you open it up. The home security system, Mary Van Britten Brown, in 1966, in New York City. The three light traffic signal, the one that we still currently use, 1923, Garrett Morgan. Um, Refrigerated trucks, so how you haul meats throughout and how you get your fish and everything produce, and really, yeah, everything produce, anything that comes in a truck that you have to put in a refrigerator. Frederick McKinley Jones in 1940. Automatic elevator doors, not the ones where you gotta like you see on all the old school movies and like Great Gatsby and stuff. Alexander Miles in 1887. Um, Electric phone, uh, James E. West in 1964. The carbon light bulb filament. So, the piece of cardboard that actually lets Thomas Edison's light bulb work. Not necessarily the light bulb itself, but the one piece that he spent thousands of hours looking for, and trying to get, was by Lewis Latimer in 1881. And these are all patented, so things that you can look up and you can see. The color IBM PC monitor, what I'm currently making this podcast on. All right. And the gigahertz microchip. So literally how much, like how fast things are moving. Mark Dean, 1980 and 1999. IBM PC monitor 1980, gigahertz chip 1999. Um, and there are more. I'm not gonna go too much into it, but like we literally how you live your day is because black people sacrificed a lot um, and endured a lot. You know, something that really hits home for me and makes me really happy and proud to be black is that um, look at how many wars or how much colonization has happened over the course of just, I mean, let's say, when did they break up Africa and split it? Um, Man, what's that called? Dang, when the Belgians and everybody went into Africa and like split it up. Um, I'm forgetting, but uh, so many people just kind of succumb to uh, their enslavers everywhere. And like we're fully colonized. Like there are places in Africa where black people are not allowed in Africa. You know what I mean? And in America, we were brought here over a really long trip with like terrible conditions, and the people that got here were the strongest because they were able to survive all that water and all that torture and all that stuff, and then to become slaves for hundreds and hundreds of years. So like maybe how many generations is let's see, my grandma, my mom, me. So from 1990, no, 1933 to 1926, that's three generations. So in a 100-year span, three generations. So maybe 12 generations, six generations, um, six generations. So over six generations, enduring slavery, rape, being eaten. Look up the delectable Negro and how people were eating black people. Not the Epstein files. This is just a continuation of something that they were doing to us. Um, and you endure like the terrible ship coming from Africa here, and you survive, and then you survive slavery after hundreds and hundreds of years, after six generations. um, you become so tough and you become so prepared and strong and smart, because you learn how to navigate this evil world, um, in which you're really not supposed to be able to survive. You are just a way that someone else can make money. You're a machine. And it makes me so happy and so proud to be black because like we fought in every war here, and like I'm alive. So my family lineage is that strong, to come from Africa on a ship through the seas of bullshit to get here, to then be whipped, raped, all types of things, eaten, freaking thrown in every single war that America has ever been in, um, and then to still fight for other people's rights. Like we made it through all that and was like, you know what? It's not just okay that we're free. Like when white women were fighting for suffrage, for their right to vote, they weren't asking for black people and black women's right to vote. That's why feminism is such a it's anti-black, because when Susan B. Anthony, uh, when they were fighting for women's suffrage, they were mad because black men got the right to vote, that they were able to, hey, like I'm fixing your clothes, I'm fixing your food, like I'm the reason that you're able to make all this money because you don't have to do the things at home. You know what I mean? And women wanted that equal rights to their white husband, not to everyone. They didn't want equal rights for black people. They just wanted equal rights to white men. That way they could feel bigger than us. So black men get the right to vote, and then white women are like, wait, I'm more important. This is our property. So that's when women's suffrage comes into play. And that's why feminism is inherently racist, because it wasn't because they cared about everyone's freedom. They cared about their specific freedom. Um, and black people didn't only care about black people freedom. We cared about everyone's opportunity to come here and live by the Constitution. And that really means a lot to me. Um, we are a selfless group, uh, and we've died for everyone's freedoms, and we still get spit in our face. We still have black people saying that immigrants are the reason that this country is successful, and like we are always just so disrespected, and yet we have kids and we just teach them the ways of navigating this world that still doesn't want us here for the last 400 years. Like we are relentless people, and I love being black. Like it is so important to me. It is so important to me. Um, Coming from, like, I'm from the fucking hood. I'm from Philadelphia, bro. Not Philadelphia. I'm from Chester, which is just outside of Philly. But living in that region, there is so much history. There is so much history. Like I'm from a city that William Penn fucking named. All right. I've seen Liberty Bell with my own eyes. I've seen the Declaration of Independence with my own eyes. Um, and we were educated really well as kids on the world and how it works. Not necessarily at home, but even in school. Like we learned so much about natives. We went to orchards. We did all this stuff there, and it gave me pride in being an American because of so much stuff that happened around me, and so many like important things that you like start to bank in your head, like wow, like, and I don't know, I'm off on a tangent and I don't remember where I was going. Uh, but yeah, no, I do a little bit. Yeah, I'm from Chester, Pennsylvania, and yeah, okay, maybe I don't know where I was going. I fuck. Sometimes I start talking and I get so riled up and I forget my points, and that's another reason why I've been not doing these podcasts. Like, I have, like, I've been doing this, or I was trying to the past few weeks, just trying to like write everything down, and I had it propped up behind the laptop, and like I didn't like how I was looking up and then looking down and looking up. There's been so many things with this, but yeah, I'm really, 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 really proud to be black. I'm proud to be African American. I'm proud to be a descendant of Africans. I'm proud to be a descendant of slaves. Like, I'm proud to be American, because we fought for these rights more than anyone else. More than anyone else. Like, you still see white men doing crazy shit to people right now. Like, the Epstein files are out right now, unredacted, in Germany and in France. Unredacted. So if you want to see the unredacted shits, go type it in. You can. You can see the actual heinous shit that these white men have been doing for hundreds and hundreds of years, and it's just passed down and passed down. The only reason why it's gotten so big over the last few years is because now, like, they're realizing it's happening to white people. Like, the amount of black people that were in the streets for 2020 for Black Lives Matter. Like, I'm not saying that white people weren't in the streets, because y'all were, um, but the amount of black people that were fighting for that, and like we actually got um things done. Like, the Epstein files have been out and been rolling, and nothing's been done. And it's like the privilege, bro, the privilege that you have to be able to live and some heinous shit not affect you because you only care about your day-to-day things. You don't care about making other people's lives better. um and that's like, it's like the most selfish thing that people do. um and I'm not like fucking racist or whatever, but like, it is a white person's problem. Like, it really is. It is white men's problem. It is white women's problem. If life is going good, then y'all don't speak up to anything. Like, even if you see heinous shit going on around you, you just be quiet and you, not happening to me, you know. And that's something that black people don't do, which is why all of the most important figures are always fucking black from America. Always, because we're very selfless, very selfless. um and we're very strong. Like, again, this black American lineage is probably the most strong lineage on the fucking earth, other than the Eritreans, the Ethiopians, who have never been colonized. um and like, you know, we've been through hundreds and hundreds of years and shit, and we really do care about the improvement of others. But now nothing's happening with the Epstein files because white men don't care, because white women don't care. They care, but they don't care enough to disrupt day-to-day life. During COVID, like, we were disrupting everyday life. We were in the 60s, we were disrupting everyday life, not getting on buses, like bankrupting cities through things like that. Like, but white people really just, they don't like sacrificing their selves for the greater good of others. If it isn't directly affected to them, they will not fight. Um, and that's, it's so prominent now that, like, I'm able to say all this stuff because, like, white men have been raping white children, and y'all still won't do anything about it. Y'all are just gonna talk on the internet. That's it. Y'all are never gonna do anything about it because it's not who you are to sacrifice for others. It's, you only sacrifice when it has to do with your bank account. And it's sad, but it's true, and it's something that we know. We've seen it, like, it's been passed down for generations. Like, we're not idiots. We've been in your homes, we've seen all this stuff, and like, it's sad because, you know, y'all are going to be the reason that things change, because we can always just be blamed and murdered and thrown into prison. But a mass group of white people cannot. And that's where all of our issues really are, is because white people do not want to sacrifice themselves for the greater good of all people. Um, and it's sad to say, man, it really is, but like, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. There are people doing heinous things that we've known about because they've all been done to us. That's why it seems so crazy to you guys. Like, the only reason this is actually what I was going to say. The only reason there's been outrage is because there were white people murdered. That is the only reason that there was some sort of outrage for 5 days. Now it's back to whatever. Oh, the Epstein files. Oh, the Epstein. Like, it's so sad, man. Um, and like, our police officers aren't fucking. They're not attacking ICE. They're not like. It's just like the people that have authority refuse because they don't want to ruin their livelihood, because they can't see an America where they aren't the most important. Because we know, like, if this whole shit blows up, like, it's too much mediocrity out here. And because, like, there are specific people in specific positions, specific people are pushed into different positions. But when it goes to everyone's at 0-0 and we start running and you're not equipped to run, you're gonna feel like, oh shit, like, I'm fucked. And that's really where all this BS is coming in. Uh, like, you know, police officers have a really tough job. They really do. They deal with murderers, killers, freaking drug dealers. They deal with with drug addictions. You know, they're going to the worst parts of every place to deal with things. Um, but we never talk about, like, you know, a lot of people just say, like, yo, like, police are under a lot of stress. But, like, what about the people who live in the neighborhoods that the police are going to? Are they not in a lot of stress? You know, we put people on pedestals. And if you're like, wow, this guy every day he goes to the hood and he like tries to find these like people and lock them up, and he's anxious, like, what do you think about the guy that lives next door to the people that are killing people? You think he feels safe? You know, um we just aren't giving enough credit to regular everyday people, and we're putting people on pedestals because of what they look like or who their parents are or whatever. And it's destroying the fucking world, and it has been for a long time. But now white people are getting mad because there are no black people allowed on Epstein and Island. There are none. They aren't allowed there. They don't want niggas there. So that means only white babies have been getting raped and killed and murdered for 20, 30 years maybe. Um, and you still aren't going to do anything about it because you don't want to sacrifice whatever your job is, whatever's making you money, for the greater good of, you know, a real America, the one that we all thought was here, that never actually existed because we've been run by whoever. Um, little black history for y'all. Um, I hope you have watched. I hope you're still watching. Again, listen to some rap songs. Listen to some rap songs by Earl Sweatshirt. This is my birthday card. I love y'all. Shout out World Combat Club. I love y'all a lot. Rey Mysterio. Deuce Almighty. Again, I'm fighting this upcoming weekend in Mexico, so tune in. Peace out, guys. I love y'all. I'll meet you at the fucking top.